Hello and welcome back. We're going to be flying from Nadzab to Aiyura. And hopefully I'll be able to get the approach and landing right there because I struggled to fly the approach correctly. But we shall see. We've already got the passengers loaded. So we can jump right in and start setting up. Turn on avionics, fuel pump on, ignition on, starter on. Fully forward. %, NG, introduce the fuel.
Until you land and shut down the engines.
Okay. Fuel pump off, starter off, ignition off. We're back to auto. Open the inertial separator. Now set up the flight plan again. I'll delete this one. It's going to be a pretty simple flight plan. Runway 27. Initially anyway. I'm just going to put it in direct. Runway 14 I think is for the landing. Yeah, runway 14 for the landing. Alright. Taxi light. Flaps 20 for takeoff. Release the park brake. Start taxiing. There we go. A pretty good turning circle on this. I don't need a pushback or anything. It'll be very difficult with that propeller up the front anyway.
In it? No.
Yeah, I either enter and backtrack or I do an intersection takeoff. I think I'll go for the intersection takeoff. It's a little bit quicker. Oh, no, there is a taxiway that runs down the length of it. I'll go for the full length. I was forgetting that there's a taxiway here. Altitude. And go up to 8,000 feet. You do need to go up to about 8,000 to get over the mountains. Just before the Aiyura Valley. Now I descend down in and around the valley. Strobe on, landing light on. High idle. All clear. Turned a little bit late there. Alright. On the center line, apply takeoff power. Swing knots, rotate.
Airborne time log.
And your feet flaps up and tracking. Allow the speed to build. Yeah, engage the autopilot. Should climb out at 110 knots. Go ahead and engage nav mode. Reduce the prop RPM to 1800 again. A fuel flow of 500 pints an hour at the moment. Turn off the inertia separator. And I'll turn off taxi and landing lights as well. And keep this climb going. Now I am going to go ahead and load the visual approach in here, just for loose guidance. However, I won't be able to use it for the actual approach due to mountains around the airport. But it does give me a little bit of guidance as to the center line. Yeah, leveling out at 8,000 feet. Relatively short flight. Got 12 minutes left on our estimated time en route, and just because we've just leveled out, the aircraft is speeding up, so that should come down. Now the airport is at 5,120 feet or something along those lines. So when I descend, I'll be descending down to about 6,100 for a circuit height. Trick with the descent is I've got to make sure that I'm past the mountains. I'm not going to descend down into the mountains before the valley that I'm going to be flying around in to do the approach. Still 24 miles away from the airport. If I start descending a little bit as I get past this airport here, and then I think I'll turn down here, and then I can come in through this little gap here. Be nicely positioned to do fly the approach. Start turning left a little bit. Heading for those mountains and hills so I can fly around the valley. Should be able to start descending soon. Alright, setting altitude 6,100. Engage vertical speed mode. 500 foot a minute descent for now. Okay, we'll engage the inertial separator on landing lights. And there's the airport right there. Disengage the autopilot, reduce the power, allow it to descend a bit quicker. Fly towards this mountain for a while, and then need to fly around to the right around that little township there. I basically want to follow this mountain range around the township. Reasoning for this approach is both noise abatement and because there's a mountain right there in front of the runway. It makes a straight in approach difficult, so you fly around the valley. Prop foot forward. Now the plane to slow down so I can introduce some flaps. Flaps 20. And blow 120. Flaps full. Now I'm quite high.
Wind 140 at 3 knots.
Didn't quite get the approach perfectly, but it's gonna work. A lot closer than I got last time where I completely missed the airport. And lined up.
Landing time log.
Reverse thrust. Braking as required. And down to ground idle. And off landing in strobe lights. Now this really should be a concrete pad, but it's showing up as grass. There we go. Set the parking brake. I'll turn off the inertial separator. Go ahead and feather the propeller. Back the flaps. And kill the engine.
Off time log. Flight is finished. It has been monitored.
About 200 ITT, you can turn off the battery and avionics. I hope you enjoyed that flight to Aiyura. This is the town I grew up at, so I always enjoy flying back here. I look forward to seeing you on the next flight.